When the stakes are high, leave nothing to chance. Because if you're to succeed in the long run, sustained excellence must be your standard.
Guten Tag, my friends. This is Gedde with Georgia Firing Line, and this is an HK SP5. So the HK MP5, or in this case the SP5, has been one of my dream guns since I was 13 years old. It was my very first airsoft gun when I first got into all that. And today I want to go over my homebrew and what makes this so special to me. Now first, just to address the elephant in the room, no, this is not a proper MP5. This is not a machine gun. This is the SP5, which is the civilian variant. The only difference is in the trigger pack and the fire selector, that it only does safe and fire, but it'd be really nice to be able to change that, but we need a couple more zeros on the end of the price tag to make that happen. The HK MP5 is one of the most prevalent submachine guns, or just guns chambered in 9mm, period. I can almost guarantee that everybody watching this video has seen an MP5 in some form of media, which is part of the reason why it's been a dream for me ever since I was a kid to get my hands on one of these properly. On the surface, the HK MP5 and the SP5s are roller delay blowback 9mm platforms, making them one of the most durable, reliable, and softest shooting 9mm carbine, PCC, pistols, however you want to platform it, on the market today. And due to the gun's construction dating all the way back to the 1960s, you have a multitude of ways of modernizing and customizing this gun to suit whatever role you need it to fill. So today we're going to look at a brief history of the MP5 as well as what I did to mine to make it suit my needs even better. Now first thing, in order to set this off proper, we need to initiate ourselves with the HK slap. Now the video can continue. The HK MP5 was originally developed in the 1960s and to this day boasts over 100 different variants and clones that are used by 80 different militaries in the world today. The grandfather to the MP5 would be the HK G3 series, and I guarantee anybody who's seen Black Hawk Down, you're familiar with those as well. HK had a lot of success with the G3 platform, then turning into the HK 91 and 93s, making the roller delay system all the more prevalent. Although it is expensive to manufacture, the benefits of a roller delay system are huge. The gun is significantly softer, it handles suppression very, very well, and you can boast a pretty high round count with pretty minimal maintenance. Now, the MP5A1 is the model that a lot of people typically think of. The MP5A1 being the first variant that was mass-produced around the 1960s, which was also the first model to boast the fully hooded front sight with a slimmer handguard, which is a little bit harder to find nowadays. Fast forward the clock to 1970, and then we introduced the MP5A2 and A3 variants, changing some of the furniture and changing some of the feature set around the gun. And then in 1974, we get one of the granddaddies of them all, which is the MP5 SD. The SD features an integrally suppressed barrel with ports on the inside of the actual barrel itself, making every round you shoot out of the gun subsonic and making it very quiet and pleasant to shoot.
Several MP5 SD models are available. From left to right, the aluminum suppressor, the Knights Armament Corporation suppressor dry, and the Knights Armament Corporation suppressor wet. The removable sound suppressor is integrated into the weapon's design and conforms to the normal length and profile of a conventional unsuppressed submachine gun.
Now, while this one is not an SD, you'll see I did put a suppressor on it. We'll get there, just be patient. And then in 1976, we have the even smaller version of the MP5 with the MP5K. These are identified by a shorter barrel, shorter handguard, and the little vertical stubby grip that's normally integrated into the foregrip. For you nerds out there, this was also the variant that was found inside of that nifty little briefcase that they could shoot from.
And this is the MP5K that can be fired from inside a specially designed briefcase. Or out.
It's pretty cool. Now from 77 and forward, you'll see that the HK variants have the curved magazines, which are still the mags that they use today. The curve in the magazine puts less strain on the spring, and it's supposed to make it a little more efficient in feeding, but the straight wall mags just look cooler. That's the only reason why I want one. So now let's fast forward to 1980 and we talk about the event that rocketed the MP5 to the front of everybody's gun catalog, because back then they had to read books, kind of a weird thing. We are of course talking about the Iranian embassy that was sieged by the British SAS. There's a lot of imagery that comes from this event that is still used by HK marketing to this day. We have a poster in the back that has the actual photograph of them rappelling in. You'll see it on the screen up here. It's super sick. And if you look at some of the pictures, even from back then, you'll see ways of customizing and ways of making the gun suit better roles, such as the top-mounted flashlights that they were using in that image. It's always interesting to me to look back in history and see what they did to these guns to make it serve the role a little bit better. And when we start talking about my customization here, you'll see a very prevalent theme as we move forward. Another event that took place in the 1980s was the commercial sale of the Rubik's Cube, originally developed in '74. Kind of neat. Now, leaving the military history of the MP5 in the past just slightly, we have the civilian history of the MP5 and its various clones that are out there. It wasn't until 2019 that HK dropped the SP5, being the proper civilian version of an MP5. The civilian release of the SP5 resembles the MP5A2 with the 8.8-inch barrel and with the tri-lug threaded adapter that comes pre-installed from the factory, making it very easy for you to accessorize it as you see fit. And now that we've covered the history, let's talk about what I did to my gun and why. We're going to start from the rear and work our way forward. So for the stock, there's a ton of stock options out there for the MP5, and the A4, A5 series are really my favorite, but the Magpul stock resembles that of the MP5 A3F pretty well, but at a lower price point. The length of pole brings it exactly where I need it to be for my long gorilla arms, and it makes it comfortable to actually put it into my shoulder, and it manages recoil very well. The lower in the trigger group, I chose to leave factory. There's a multitude of options to upgrade those as well, but I kind of like the way it shoots, and there's a certain sex appeal that's left on the factory MP5 that I'm just a big fan of. The SP5s already come with the proper paddle magazine release found at the base of the magazine, and the factory magwell I find to work just fine. Now for the fun parts, I chose a Midwest handguard for the front. This is the M-LOK variant. There's a multitude of handguards out there, whether you want to do the Knights Armament or the B&T forends. I like the M-LOK because it's the modern adaptation feature, and it's easy to put accessories on. Also comes with a sling mount on the sides of the gun. I've been a big fan of the slate black foregrips. I have them on a multitude of my long guns at home, and I like the curvature and I like the shape of it. I don't grab it like a broom handle. I use it like more of a hand stop, and the curvature makes it very comfortable. I can also use the charging handle or the cocking handle to create an index with the palm of my hand. Now you're probably wondering what the little dingus is on the front of it. That's a Roe v. Vaughan laser and illuminator unit. It's being held by a M-LOK bridge that just pushes the weapon light a little bit further forward of the muzzle. The Roe v. Vaughan is a very interesting piece, and we have more content coming on this, but it is in one unit, a visible light, a visible laser, an IR light, and an IR laser, because I'm building this gun to be a night vision host. This is going to be one of my night vision guns when I get my tubes in. Now on the topic of handguards, I really wanted to do the Surefire handguard on this because it's the iconic piece. You see it used in Resident Evil with Hunk, you see him all over the place, but the Midwest bridge got me that aesthetic feature that I was looking for, and it also pushes the light further forward of the muzzle, so if I'm shooting without the suppressor, I get no suppressor shadow or no shadow cast. It's just pure light from the gun, which is really nice. And then even when I put the suppressor on the gun, the suppressor shadow is very minimal. You see a little bit of a cone on the very top edge of your light, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't bug me at all. And then on top of the gun, I also went with Midwest for the claw mount that allows me to mount a proper red dot on top of the gun. This is a Holosun SCRS. It's their solar charging red dot sight, and it's sitting on top of a ADM low mount, so it's also quick detach. Now before Reddit and YouTube get mad at me, yes, I'm fully aware that there is a little bit of height overboard to manage here, but it's really not a big deal. I chose the height of this optic as well as the mount itself because I prefer the heads up shooting position. So when I'm looking at my target, when I bring the gun up into my eye line, I don't have to crane my neck down in order to look down the optic. I can leave my head nice and tall, I can see the dot, and it makes shooting a little bit more effortless. And then the cool thing about the Holosun SCRS unit is there is no battery to manage. It's an internal battery that is solar charged, and even ambient lighting like what we have in the studio is actually putting power into the light, and it lasts a long time. They're very durable, it's clean glass, and I can play with the brightness of the reticle as well as with the night vision settings, so it really checks all the boxes. And then the hush pickle that's on the front of it is a CGS Mod 9 from Chaos Gear. It's a user serviceable 9mm suppressor. I had this originally on some handguns, and it did fine on the handguns, but it came to life when I put it on this roller delay 9mm. This really ties the whole package together, and everybody I've had shoot this gun comments on how quiet it is and how soft it is in the shoulder. This thing is a rock star, and I'm so thrilled to have it. And for anybody who's built a really cool system like this, you know the excitement that you get when you let your other friends shoot it as well. So that's what we're gonna go do right now. They're gonna shoot it and they're gonna tell you about it. Now there is one detail that I left out from the tabletop, and that is on the Row V Vaughn. These are also compatible with Surefire pressure pads. So I have one installed, and the pad is hidden up here in the corner of the M-LOK, and it's held on by some goon tape and the Velcro that comes supplied with it. I couldn't find an M-LOK section or an M-LOK holder that was small enough to fit in that little section. It's not that important, but the fact that it takes pressure pads is really, really cool. So I've shot this thing a bunch, and there's a definite quality behind shooting an SP5. The recoil is incredibly soft, and we're gonna show you that now. The gun just shoots itself. I'm seeing the dot rise and fall, if you want to call it rising, it's just kind of vibrating in place. And the CGS Mod 9 makes the report back here, even on this indoor range, very comfortable. And the gun's just super fun to shoot. I got one more, so we're gonna use the beam. Yep, it's about where it should be. Cool. So up next, we're gonna have Alex shoot, and we'll tell you what he thinks about it. You like gun, Gypsy?
I would love gun, Gypsy. Wow, MP5.
Yeah? Okay, go ahead. Have fun.
Slap. It's good. It's good. I see what you were talking about having to hold about 3 or 4 inches over, but I mean, it's like dumb soft.
Yeah,
So.
the height of a bore is real. It's just something you have to manage. Alex has shot a lot of rifles. How would you compare this to like a 5.56 or something like that?
There's almost like, and I'm assuming this is due to the fact that it's a roller delayed system. There's like a delay on the recoil that makes it like more like a soft push, whereas like on standard 5.56, it's like a instant report in your shoulder. So
Very good, my friend.
very good, very nice.
Okay.
MP5.
MP5. Yes. You're gonna shoot a gun.
I like guns.
Okay, so now we have a wild Killian. We found him in the parking lot and brought him in here with cheeseburgers. So we are going to shoot the MP5 now. Take it away.
Yeah. Oh, it's so satisfying. Oh, I love that stuff. Yeah, that's hot. Big fan. Dude, look at that grouping on that head.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, beautiful, wow.
I like how smooth it is. Like, there's nothing there at all. I like the way it shoots. It's a very sturdy build. I like the handguard on it as well. It feels very natural. It's actually just completely effortless in general. It's almost like shooting with a cheat code.
It's also why like every game I play now, if there's an MP5, I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
Super fun. Okay, grab me whoever's next.
All right, I got you. Oh, probably want your microphone.
Oh yeah, it's not one of my favorite people in the business. There you go.
Mike.
Yeah, throw that on. So now we're back in the range with my favorite individual in the store. This is EJ Jones, and he's never shot my MP5, so this is his actual first time shooting it.
Cool.
Take it away.
MP5. All right, let's get this puppy here and just give it a slap, right?
Yep, slap it down.
All right. Oh, zone safe, up for fire.
That is a hell of a group.
I lost it a little bit, but man, I got a little, I was shooting up top there. It looked like I put maybe 3 or 4 in the same hole.
You did,
That made me nervous.
We're at about 10 yards. So he's up in the number 6 right there. It's a nice group.
That's nice. I love it. Where do I get one?
We know a guy.
That is a nice setup, Gedde. That's a nice shooting gun there.
It doesn't feel like a 9mm PCC.
Oh, man, it's light, very well balanced. I'm sold. That type of grouping, I would like to shoot again. That's great.
I got more ammo. We can do it
It's
again.
enjoyable. I want to go down and see if I put those holes right, I've lined them up right in there, and then I'm going to try it again.
Yeah, let's walk down.
Yeah, so, we're kind of right in here, and then I lost it a little bit there, but.
So that's funny. That's Killian's shots in the head.
Cool. He only shot 3 shots?
No, he shot to the body and then he went up.
Oh, okay. All right, let's have some more fun now that I got a hang of it.
You want to do it again?
Yeah. Oh, we're already on safe. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can take Killian out here. I'm all low.